Good evening. I'm Kelly Neidig, and welcome to Remote Open House. I am so excited to welcome your student to LT, albeit a remote setting. We are still quite excited to see all of them, see them on Zoom, do the best we can with what we're given. And I'll take a moment today to explain how we grade, what are we grading, a little bit about my own self, and how to reach me. Our approach, albeit I feel it's simple, is certainly something I'd like to address with you today. We in PE have been collaborating so much of late on best practices and what PLCs look and sound like in order to make learning better, to keep it engaging, to keep it beneficial, and to keep it applicable to their lives. And when we look at the essential outcomes and the curriculum we have put into place here at LT over a course of many years, we have changed a bit to make it remote, and yet again, we haven't. So I'll explain some differences, some similarities, and I think you'll find it engaging nonetheless. You might think that PE is impossible to be done on Zoom, but we've had great success this week, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. A little bit about our mantra includes not only do we care about the physical well-being of your child, but certainly that mental component that goes so hand in hand, interrelated with our physical well-being. Without mental health, we could not be physically well, and vice versa. And we always look at that wellness wheel, so to speak, where all of the dimensions of our health and well-being are equally as important. Our activities will range this semester. Activities will range in the world of cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, and flexibility. And we also will bring in mindfulness and team building. Although for our content, the assessment for our strength trainers will include strength unit days as opposed to golf, sports skills training, and net games. You will see components of cardiovascular endurance, strength, and of course, flexibility. For example, I have already entered in a few assessments and grades for objective 3, which is our cardiovascular objective. And what we had is a live Zoom session where students had the ability to get away from the screen, get away from me, and go work out in the comforts and the choice option that they chose to do. And it was really nice to read the feedback on Canvas about that experience. And it seems like the students' preferred method of working out on Zoom as opposed to those async days, which there are async workout days. But as far as live content versus working out versus doing an ed puzzle to check for understanding, we try to use a variety of platforms. So within the semester, something is appealing to your students. And we're not expecting everyone to perform these skills necessarily perfectly. For example, if you can't bench press 150 pounds, that's okay, you're still a good person, but what is the theory behind the bench press? What muscular systems are used? When I really dive into the muscular system, what muscles are used on the eccentric phase versus the concentric phase of the bench press? And then of course we have the isometric exercises. So when we start to dive into the science of working out, and in particular this track has a lot to do with strength training and resistance training, and we will get into using our body weight as resistance training as a primary focus in our remote setting, as many of us do have our body weight to work with, and many of us are without dumbbells. The main objectives are listed in my gradebook. So if you take a look at Infinite Campus, if you ever do that, and you should, and I encourage you to carry dialogue with your son or daughter about that, the objectives for the whole semester are written in there. It looks a little chaotic in my opinion right now because not much is entered in this early stage of the game, but please refer to Infinite Campus as a way to assess grades for your student, as opposed to Canvas, which is more of a record-keeping tracking device. I'm able to give a lot of feedback that way. I'm able to post assignments. But as far as the grading policies, we do follow them. The new ones, of course, which do allow a retake for summative assessments, and up to 2 weeks to make up an assignment that is missed. And that is on Infinite Campus, albeit an M means missing. It will go into the Infinite Campus as a flag score that it's missing. And then after 2 weeks, you do receive an F for the missing assignment. A little bit about my own personal self. I'm an athletic trainer by nature. I was a D3 soccer player, and I grew up around student athletes all of my life. As a student athlete myself at Argo High School, North Central College for my undergrad. I went back to North Central and got my health and PE degree, and then further went back to North Central even still and got my graduate assistant degree, or my graduate degree in leadership. So I spent a lot of time at North Central. That's why I put the Cardinal right in the middle there. And I do live with my husband in a small petting zoo of 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a few fish. If you have questions, concerns, comments throughout the semester, please feel free to reach me. As you probably are learning, email is best for most teachers. It was lovely chatting with you today. Thanks for being great, as I tell the kids, and I look forward to the semester. Thanks. Take care.